All right, so let's kick it off. Jessie today is going to cover IG, how she's working her IG, because she's been interacting a lot in it, and it's been really helping her. So I decided to have her speak on the call. I know you had told me about the Crowdfire. I could cover on it a little, just that I think Crowdfire just became useless now that they only let you follow 25 people, not even per hour, it's per day. It tells you to come back in 24 hours to follow another 25 people. You're better off just going through Instagram itself. And like, let's say what I've been doing is if I follow somebody, I'll go to their friends and see who they're following, and I'll follow through there.
Yeah. It's
You're muted.
I'm muted?
No, Joanna, she was saying something, but I couldn't hear her.
Oh.
You're muted. Joanna, you're muted. There you go.
If you can show us how to do that, I paid for the Crowdfire, the monthly thing, so they allow me to follow 60 people an hour.
Okay. How much did you pay for that for the month?
I think it's $10 a month.
Okay.
So I'll try it this month and see, because I really don't know how to follow people on Instagram.
Okay. All right. So if you want, Jessie, kick it off.
Okay. So a little bit about me. My name is Jasenia. I'm sorry.
We didn't even introduce her. Come on, Paula. We introduce everybody.
I'm like, I just figure everybody knows her. Well, our guest speaker is Jasenia Martinez. She's one of my diamond coaches. She's actually one of the first coaches that joined me when I joined Beachbody. And her transformation has been simply amazing. She's lost over 150 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. And she continues to roll with it. She's had her ups and downs in the business, but she's never quit, and she's determined. And I've seen that lately she came back and she's on fire and she's determined to make this happen. So we wanted to have her on the call and have her share with us what it is that she's been doing on Instagram that's been helping her. So kick it off, Diamond, Jessie.
Yes. Okay. And thank you so much. So yeah, my name is Jessie. I would say Jasenia. It's Jessie. And just to give a little background, I know that, I don't know if everybody saw kind of the post that I did yesterday in the group, that now that I'm seeing everything totally different from everything in the past. I see a lot of people that fall off or go back and forth. And it's like, you're not alone. We all fall off. We all have our times. I've fallen off track many, many times. And now it's completely different. I've had a lot of personal issues. I'll share this here. I kind of share it in my public posts, but I'm still kind of private with this. But, you know, I was separated from my husband for about 1.5 years, and it was a lot of issues, and it was crazy. I lived in Jersey, moved to New York, and it was just a whirlwind of craziness. And well, I haven't told you, I guess I'm going to tell you now. I've moved back to New Jersey. Well, I unexpectedly moved back sooner than I expected, but I kind of had to move back because the main thing is my husband works for New Jersey college, NJIT and Rutgers. And in order for my children to go to college for practically free, they have to graduate from high school in Jersey. So practically free compared to $40,000 or $50,000. I had to come back sooner than expected. So now that's going to go into, I'm going to actually touch up a little bit on Instagram, and then I'll do the power hour. The Instagram, I used to have a different account that crashed for whatever reason. It crashed, and that was back then when I was kind of starting to work it, and it was actually working great. So I kind of go back and forth with how I used to do it there. I follow women and comment on women's pages that I have the most in common with. Instagram, it's so good because you have such a wide variety of people there that you cannot find someone that you have common interest with. So women that have children, women that are working, women that post that they hate their jobs or that those funny memes of their jobs. It's not only fitness. I love baking. That's why I was 300 pounds. I love baking. I love sweets. That's my weakness. So, but I also like it to look pretty. So I follow those artsy baking pages. I follow scrapbooking. I love arts and crafts. I love scrapbooking and traveling. And sometimes I'll even follow tattoos, because even though I don't have many tattoos, I probably have one or two, but I love to see to me that's art and I love it. So I follow them and I find the common interests that I have. That's why I start to follow, and I also track who I follow. I'm kind of old school, so I write everything down a lot. So I do have pages that I actually write down people's, I have a spreadsheet on the computer as well, but I do it a lot as I'm writing in my notebook, and I track who I'm posting with. And whoever interacts with me, I go to their pages daily. I make sure that I go back and I track and I go to their pages daily. I message them and I go back and forth. Some I straight up invite them if they seem that they are in a fitness or anything that has to do with health. I usually invite them right away. Come to Facebook or the Facebook or my group. I tell them a little bit about the group. I guess you would say the cold invites. I straight up do at least 15 to 20 a day. Right off the bat, that's my goal. 15 to 20 cold invites every day. I will fall asleep with the phone on my face because I will make sure, and I'll wake up and you'll see me, I'm still trying to invite, and I'm like, oh, look, I'm still trying to invite. Tracking, I see it's gotten me more to see where I'm going, as opposed to, I felt like I was everywhere before. I wasn't tracking and I felt like out of control and overwhelmed. So tracking the pages, and of course, some of them will say, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm like, okay, so I still keep them. I still always tell them, even if they say no, if I invite them, I say, oh, well, we can keep connected. I love your page. I love what you share. Let's go to Facebook. So a lot of them I still bring to Facebook. And even if they're pregnant, now that I'm tracking it, okay, so they usually tell me their due date. So I write it down. Okay, so then she's due in 2 months. So then I'll call her in maybe 2.5 months, maybe give it 3 months or whatever, let her settle in. And not call her, like message her, but I always I've been keeping in contact with them. Actually now it's coming up to several of them that I know were giving birth like this month. So I'm like, okay, I already have that there. The third thing that I do that I also pay for, I kind of mentioned in the last call, I use Instagress. There, I find it really, really good. And I find that I'm getting a lot more track on my page because they do I don't have it set for following and unfollowing because I like to control that. I don't want to have following like this crazy rap people or like I like to control who I follow and unfollow. I have them for $10 for 30 days and they like and comment for me. You can go on there and choose the comments that you want. They also go to the tags. So you choose whatever tags you want. So they go into whatever people tag those things, they'll go to them and that's where they'll comment and that's when they'll like. And most of the time, those people that they comment and like will come back to me and say, thank you at Yesenia Fitness. So when I see that, I go onto their page and I'll go look through more stuff on their page. And I interact more with them that way. And I've gotten a lot more feedback on my page from that. And even people that when I message them, I don't realize how much they're following me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been following you. I've like all their pictures or whatever. Like, so sometimes some do fall through the cracks, but I don't see them because there's so many, and that's how I go. So for Instagram, those are my 3 major things. I just follow and comment on people with the same interest. I guess kind of like the avatar, like I really took that, the training that I believe it was Saudi and Jalissa, like I keep going back to it and getting tips on it because I think the video is still up and I still go through the slides and I kind of keep always the tips on the avatar with following people like you that you would want to. The second is tracking everyone on Instagram as much as I can. Not everyone I can track. And then Instagram has helped me a whole lot. Now going into Power Hour. That had become very challenging. Moving back to Jersey, I am now, my travel time to work back and forth is 5.5 hours a day. It takes, and it's dragging, and I am exhausted. When I say I'm exhausted, I get home half the time, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta work out. Oh yeah. It's only, and I even cut it to myself. I'm like, oh God, it's only a 20-minute workout. Oh my God. I do it. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. Sometimes my body is like, you need to relax. Like last week, Thursday morning, I was so exhausted. I started getting migraine. I had to leave work early on Friday and I didn't go to work on Monday. I was like, whatever. I have my sick time. What I do, I stayed home and I worked my business because it was too much. But with the 5.5 hours, my power hour, I break it up throughout my entire day. In the morning, I usually get up about 4:30, depending on how tired I am. And I make breakfast. My husband gets up at the same time. My daughter is a brave little girl, and she decided to, at least she's in junior, so she decided to finish her year in New York. So she travels with me every day to go to finish this last couple of weeks for school. In the morning, I take the bus to Port Authority. So on the bus, I have service. I do invites and I do messaging. I message back. From there, and usually I get a lot of messages from the invites the night before. So I don't like leaving people waiting a long time. So I try to message them as soon as I can. So in the morning, I'm messaging people from the night. I'm inviting. Personal development, I have found time where there's no time, where I thought there was no time. I don't listen to music anymore in the morning or at night. In the morning, I listen to Joel Osteen. Honestly, he relaxes me in the morning. First, I don't know, his voice can be a little boring for some people, whatever, but it relaxes me. I always listen to him in the morning. Joel Osteen, I love him for the morning. As I'm going, once I get off, then I don't have service because then I have to go into the train. I don't have service. I usually read, but I kind of just relax listening to him. When I get out the train, I got to get into my other bus. So then on the other bus, I do some more inviting, and that's when I usually do my morning post and take it from there. When I get to work, I try to schedule calls during my lunch hour. So for the last few weeks, I will schedule calls during my lunch hour. Like today, I had a call at lunch. I'll have a couple. My job, I don't truly get micromanaged. So sometimes I can, if I have, oh, you're available? Okay, I'll talk right now, and I'll sneak out and I'll call. Not everybody has that, but it is something that's helped me. From scheduling lunchtime, I also go follow, comment, invite during lunchtime. And then after work, when I leave work, I don't listen to music again. I'll listen to Chalene Johnson. Or since I can't get onto the National Wake Up Calls, I'll listen to the podcast, and it's all podcasts. I listen to the National Wake Up Call. So in the morning, I'm sending invites. During the day, if I have downtime, or at lunchtime, I'm sending invites, and I do personal development both times. I also, even though I'm listening to a lot of personal development, I tend to read books. Depends on the bus on the way back home, or when I get home before I go to bed, depending on how many invites I have. And as long as I hit 15 to 20, then I'll kind of take a break and I'll do something else. But I have to hit 15 to 20 invites a day. Like that's non-negotiable for me anymore. Like I have to do that. With scheduling the calls for trainings, when I come home, like today, I literally ran home. It was traffic on the bus coming home. So I got home, it was like maybe 10 to 7. I got my workout in. I had a call at 8 o'clock, which she's actually signing up, by the way. I have a call at 8 o'clock. Then I still didn't even have notes for this, but I made sure. And that's usually why I noticed I was missing the team calls because of the calls that I scheduled. So that's why I started scheduling at lunchtime, because I figured if I schedule them at lunchtime, then I'll make sure that I'll have time for the calls on Wednesdays and then the calls on Mondays. And the trainings, like when I do trainings and kind of implement Chalene Johnson, I recommend her podcast for everyone. She, oh my gosh, every subject that you can possibly think of with the business or even personal, because she has the 2 podcasts, she just hits everything. And she hits it to a point, like she's so real and so hyper. I love her. She's so real and hyper that it's one thing. And one thing that always sticks to me, and the one that I always listen to, I think it's, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it, but it's within 90 days, like where do you turn to the point of where you want to be in 90 days. And she makes it a point that you can listen to all this personal development and listen to all these podcasts and keep listening, but you don't implement, and that's your problem. I started implementing. So what I did, and one of the tips that I got from her that I do, I make sure that on the weekends, I truly sit down and implement at least 1 up to 3 hours, not straight, but at least 3 hours for the weekend. I implement what she does, what she says. So I learn and I try to absorb, and I absorb from the groups and everything. But that's one major thing that I just split it through the day and I split it through the week. Because if I try to do trainings, and I used to get overwhelmed with all the groups and all these great resources that we have, because we have so many great resources, I used to get overwhelmed, and that's when I used to get discouraged. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get this. Like, I don't understand. Well, one thing that was constant that I kept hearing is pick 2 to 3 things, get good at it, and then move on. That's what I was always hearing. So that's what I started doing. What's the best thing that I'm good at? Even though now I'm a medical assistant, I come from a corporate world. So to me, my biggest thing was learning and research. So what was I good at when I was a hotel manager? I was good at a lot of things, but I didn't start off good. I learned. So what did I take? I started network marketing. So I follow Eric Worre, and I'm learning network marketing. I'm getting myself better at network marketing because that's one of the things that I need to do. But it's little by little. Like the personal development is truly a big thing. So with the Power Hour, it's definitely important to just pick a few things that are good for you. What's good for me may not be good for you. So I love Chalene Johnson. I love Joel Osteen for personal, it's good for me, and I'm implementing what I'm learning from them, and that's what's getting me going. The training is very important to do training as well, whether it's the back office or the slides and stuff or recorded calls from the groups. It's really good, but I had to be realistic with myself. I can't put in everything, especially now. It's different. I get home. Sometimes, like yesterday, the bus was late an hour. I didn't get home till about after 8 o'clock. I got out of work at 4. So it's hard. And so that whole time I was waiting for the bus, of course, I was on my phone, like doing what I had to do until my phone died. But the Power Hour, if you let it overwhelm you with all the resources, it's not going to fall into place. And most important, if you're nothing with Instagram, learning Instagram or splitting the Power Hour correctly, nothing is going to work unless you work on yourself. And I've learned that very well the hard way. I don't know if everyone was on the Team Eagle call on Monday, but I forgot her name. What was her name? Julie something. She was really awesome and right to the point. And even though you hear it all the time, sometimes it clicks when that one person says it. For some reason, it clicks more. If you don't work on yourself, on your own fitness, so you're doing your own program, drinking your Shakeology, what'd she say? Pick a program, drink Shakeology, read a book, and talk to people. Everything else is going to fall into place. So pick what you're good at and what you want to improve, and let everything else fall into place. But if you don't do for yourself, if you think that you're missing your workouts, not drinking your shakes, and just all over the place, and just say, okay, I'm just going to talk to people and invite them. What are you inviting them to? What are you showing them to do? You're not doing it. So how are they going to do it? That's what gets me to work out. Like, okay, I have to post the workout pic. I have to post that I'm eating, so I have to do it. So it's going to become a habit. So with the Power Hour, like I said, you don't have to, like, my major tips with that, I guess, split it. Because if I can do it with now the limited time that I have, then it's easy for anyone. Like, if you work less hours or if you get home earlier, it's easier to get done than take 5.5, sometimes 6 hours. On Friday, when I left home from work, I left work at 11 o'clock because I was sick. I didn't get home till after 2 o'clock. I might as well have stayed at work till 4 o'clock. Like, I was like had a migraine, but I did it. And I was still on the bus doing my thing. I was still doing it. Just whatever you make your priorities with your power hour, that's what's going to work for you. You don't have to be in it all. Just be in it enough for yourself to improve yourself, and then everything else is going to start falling into place. People are going to start being attracted to you. That's how I take the power hour. That's how I interpret the power hour now. It's, if I help myself within this time, everybody's going to see that and want to do the same. But personal development is one major thing. And I have been reading, I read the GoPro, I read like twice. And I use that a lot, incorporate that with our scripts, like for closing and for talking to people. The last few books I read on the 10X rule, I mentioned that I don't read it. I haven't received it yet, but I listen to him and I follow him all the time, all his live videos. And I have it on audio, but I want to actually read it. I'm old school. I like to read the book and highlight it. He's really good, and that's how posting. I'm better at posting, I want to say, but ironically, I haven't had time to go onto Hootsuite because I want to purchase the Hootsuite to be able to do the groups and some on my page and not have it limited to just 3 or whatever the number is. So that I think is like $10 a month as well. So that's also one of the things that Shalene says. If you don't invest, you're not gonna, even if it's a small investment, it's gonna go a long way. So to me, and that's also from her, I'm investing in what I know is gonna make me grow. So Instagram is making me grow with my Instagram. And I know that Hootsuite is gonna help me with Facebook. So that's two of the major, well, not major, but two of the investments that I feel that I've made. They're small, but I'm making them little by little. And I think that's it. I don't want to keep,
How do you track, you say you track on Instagram who you follow or who you're messaging. How do you do that?
I do it 3 ways. I either write it, or I write it down in my notebook, or I put it on the spreadsheet on my computer. Or what I simply do, I go back to the DM and I go entirely all the way down whoever I've ever messaged, and I go into their pages from there.
And how are you following on Instagram?
What do you mean? Like how many?
Are you following daily?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Keep following. I follow as many as I can. The same time that I'm inviting, usually I follow more during the day at work because I can just see, and that's something that I'll just keep following. And then I probably do, I want to say maybe 150, 200 a day that I could actually count.
Through Instagram.
It gives you, yeah, through Instagram. Like it'll give you the number anyway and how many I've come. So I've at least 150, 200 a day. I'll try to follow. And that's throughout the day, wherever I can get a chance to get on there.
Is everybody familiar with Instagram?
No, I can.
No? Okay, so let me share screen so that I can show you guys what the Instagram looks like. Is everybody seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Instagram. You're just going to go to the website. You're going to go to instagram.com. And you're going to create an account. You can actually open up your account through with Facebook. So when you're there, it actually, for the first, if you haven't used it ever before, it's going to let you try it for 3 days for free. And after your time expires, you have to buy time. So it does give you the option to buy. So it gives you option. The best one to do for me is I do the 30 days for $9.99. Let me go back.
And then if you stop it, because I usually stop it and kind of change up the tags or the comments, and then it'll kind of.
So the way this Instagram works is you go in here and you're going to set it so that it automatically is liking and commenting on pictures for you while you're off busy doing anything else. So when you go down in here, oh shoot, I'm going to have to start it so that I can show. Hold on. My time just expired. Settings. Maybe I could just go to settings. Okay, here we go.
Paula, let me ask you a question. This is not an app. It has to be. It's a website.
Yes, it's a website. It's not an app. You have to go on your computer to Instagram.com. Or even on your phone. I think if you go to Safari or through Google Chrome, you should be able to do it too, but it's not an app. It's a website.
Got it.
So here is where you decide what it is that you wanted to do for you. If you wanted to like, if you wanted to comment, I'm like Jessie. I don't put it to follow or to unfollow people because I like to keep track of who I'm following and who I'm unfollowing. Because sometimes it could get tricky with this, like depending on what hashtags you're using and stuff. Sometimes it likes like the weirdest things. Like for me, it happens that like I get a comment like, oh, thank you so much. And then I look at the picture and I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? So it does have it has its little glitch sometimes, but it's really not that much of a big deal. But here I would suggest to put just the likes and comments. And then you're going to go down and this, like, don't even mess with it. It's already set for you. If you move this around, usually it messes it up. And sometimes even you can put like, I happened to me once, they put me like on timeout on Instagram because it was like liking too many things and like commenting on too many things.
That's like the speed.
Yes.
The speed.
So here it has already some set comments in there for you, but you can add your own comments as well. So if you want to add comments, you just go ahead and you add right here. You click on add and you can add whatever it is that you go ahead and add it. So let's just say hello, add, and it's going to add it there for you. If you don't want it anymore, you can just exit out and it deletes it. So these are the comments I have. So when it's automatically liking and commenting for me, it's using these comments according to the picture that it's liking. If you go further down, it has tags, which are the hashtags. So there you're going to enter things that relate to you because you wanted to like things that relate to you. So of course I have like husband, pitbull, daughters, tattooed mom, healthy women, mom life, Yorkies, making changes, Pandora charms. Like I have all sorts of things, which actually, since my time expired, I have to go in there and modify it because now I'm targeting a different audience that I'm pregnant. So I need to go into like these new hashtags so that I can start targeting that market now that I'm going to renew my 30 days. So in there, you can add as many as you want. As you can see, I have a lot and you can continue adding. So it's just when it's automatically liking pictures for you, it's going to go into those hashtags that you have in there and it's going to like pictures for you. And once you have, I don't have location or any of that, all the rest of the stuff, you could just leave it as is. The important thing is the comments and the hashtags. And then you click on start and it shows you, it keeps a count of how many pictures it's liked and how many comments it's left. So you're actually going to see it when you put it to run. You're going to go into your Instagram and you're going to see you have a whole bunch of likes or a whole bunch of new followers or a whole bunch of comments or like, at Coach Hollywood, thank you so much. Or at Coach Hollywood, oh, I'm having a great day. How about you? Because they're responding to one of the comments that Instagram's left. And it really does help a lot with your, like I've noticed when I have my Instagrams working, the amount, I get so many more followers because that thing's constantly liking pictures, which for me, it's impossible to be clicking away all the time, liking. This is just automatically doing it for you. So this is, to me, like one of the best investments every 30 days to pay my $9.99 because it's helping me with my Instagram, which why lie? Like, that's where you can get the majority of your customers from now. Because for me, at least, I've exhausted a lot of my Facebook people.
Yeah, me too. I have a question though. For me, I put locations. Do you notice that you get a lot? Well, I was noticing that was getting, after Instagram, I was getting a lot of international people.
Also, location is good. So maybe
So
that's something
I
that
stopped.
fits
So I just started testing it out. I said, okay, let me see, because I watched the video for it. I was like, let me see what happens. So I targeted locations. I put like, I typed in like almost all the states, different, because once you type it in, it'll bring up, like, let's say you put New York, so it'll put different cities in New York. If you put Florida,
it'll put Astoria.
So it'll put different things. And I just started doing that. So, because I was getting too many. Yeah, I was getting too many international people. And I'm like, what is this? Like, they weren't even speaking, like, it wasn't even English, their pages. And I'm like, okay. So then I tried it and it works better.
That's a great tip, because I didn't have locations, and you are right. I have had that situation that sometimes I get like international people following me and stuff that I'm like, okay, you do nothing for me.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot help you. Like,
so there you go. So guys, go into location. And like for me, Astoria, I live in Astoria, obviously, and I entered Astoria, and it's showing me Astoria, New York, Astoria Park, Don Coquí, Astoria. It's showing me all the things that, for me, it's awesome because I can target all these people that live around me, which is way better because you want people that are close to you.
And I don't know how. I mean, I think I do probably when I used to use Crowdfire more. I don't use it as much anymore because of how it changed. But somehow I'm getting a lot of producers following me. Like, I have this one that's really following me. She's a producer on the Steve Harvey Show. So she'll post the stuff from Steve, like in the mornings, like the food, like, she'll post it. I'm like, okay. So I'm like following her closely. And I'm getting a lot of, I wasn't going to say like Hispanic, like Latinas, but it's not just Hispanic, because of my hashtags. I was assuming, but I'm getting a lot of broadcasters and a lot of communications, which I love. I'm not sure if it's because of the locations or what it was that I changed exactly, but I'm doing the same thing, a little bit different.
It has to help. It has to help because let's just say that, like, I entered Astoria, New York, and it's giving me basically all the locations that are around me that are here in Astoria, New York. So it's to go and like things in those locations for people that are posting for those things, which definitely is going to help you to target that market that's close to you, or not target people that are international, which we really can't help right now.
I know. I was getting so many people from China. Oh my gosh.
Yes, I've had that.
I have a question. So this is automatically billed to you, or you have to go and set it up every month?
Well, you go in and you're going to get your first 3 days for free. And you're going to set up your comments. You're going to set up all your tags and the locations. And then you're going to click on start. And it's going to keep a countdown there. And it's going to tell you here on this side, it's going to show you.
It stopped.
How much time you have left. So, like, let's say you turn it on tonight and you turn it off in the morning. It's going to stop there. And it's going to tell you how much time it ran for. And when you click on start again, it'll continue running that time until your 3 days is done.
And
once your 3 days are done, you can go ahead and purchase the 30 days for $9.99. And like, I just constantly have it running for those whole 30 days. Like, I never turn it off. I let it run the whole 30 days, the whole entire time.
They email you when they stop it.
When it's going to expire, it'll send you a notification that your Instagram is going to expire if you want to renew it for another 30 days.
Oh, so it's not automatically continued charging?
No, you have to go in there in 30 days. Like, for me, it just expired. Which for me tomorrow, one of my things to do is go in there and modify my tags and go ahead and purchase those new 30 days.
Can you guys show us how to follow on Instagram?
Okay, hold on. So let me share, because through Instagram, let me share so that I can share my screen on my phone. Let me stop sharing through here.
Oh, another thing I started doing with my invites for those on Instagram, because I follow whoever follows me. I go in and I follow them. But I also started doing an invite where I see people that are fit or on a journey that are not doing anything at all, like they're not on Herbalife, they're not taking these crazy. I invite them, but I invite them to inspire other people. So kind of like a business invite. So I do cold business invites too. I'm like, I love your Instagram page. You're so inspiring. I follow you all the time. Would you like to join me to inspire other people to do the same, blah, blah, blah. And I've gotten some with that as well, like some feedback with that as well.
Yesenia, when you say you sent 20 cold invites, how many of those actually sign up?
That I would say at least I've been tracking at least 9 would answer back, and at least 2. Last month 2 signed up automatically. This month I'm seeing more. Like this month I have 3 that are signing up out of the first week of the month rather.
All right, so I just want to make a point for those of you, for all of us, including myself. She's sending 20 invites a day, and she's getting about 2 to 3 people to sign up, right? So that's what Eric Worre says. You can't talk to just 3 people and expect all 3 to sign up. It's a numbers game. So you talk to 100 people, you might get, 9, 10 to sign up if you're lucky, but you have to talk to a lot of people to be able to hit Success Club 10 plus. So don't focus on just 3 people and the same 3 people the next day and the same 3 people the next day, because it's not going to work. You have to expand your market and talk to new people every day, and a lot of them. And don't get discouraged. 1 out of 10, that's pretty good.
Go for no.
Go for no.
Exactly.
Okay, so through Instagram, let's say this is just the news feed where everybody posts. So let's go to this girl. I see the amount of followers that she has, so I'll click on her followers.
How did you do that?
So this is my regular feed, right?
Okay.
I clicked on her page to go to her page.
Okay.
And I clicked right here on the top where it says followers.
Okay.
Those are her followers.
Okay.
There, all of her followers pop up.
Oh.
So there, you can start following. You just click on it and add them. And you can go ahead and follow whoever you want. These are all her followers. If I want to see who she's following, I just click on her following, and same thing. It's going to show me all the people that she's following, and it'll allow me to follow them. Users. So that's an easy way to do it, especially now that the Crowdfire is limited, unless you pay the $9.99, like you said, a month. That's a way to go ahead and be able to, let's say this girl, same thing. You can go to her followers and you start seeing their followers, and you can follow from there.
And how many people can you follow? Is there a limit here?
It allows you, I think, almost 200 people.
Oh.
Or 100 and how many people does it allow you? I don't remember.
I don't do it all at once, but I know that the max that I did one time was like about 160 before it stopped and told me I had to wait for whatever the next hour.
For the next hour, yeah.
Yeah.
But it allows you a good amount. It doesn't allow you just 50 or 60 people. It allows you, I think, like 150, 160 people that you could follow.
I use Crowdfire to unfollow those people that unfollowed me.
And then this is Crowdfire, which I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with Crowdfire. You can, your recent unfollowers, it'll show your people that recently unfollowed you, so you can just go ahead and exit out. And it'll unfollow them. those people that are like, they unfollowed you, you can just click on it. It'll show you who unfollowed you, and you can just go ahead and unfollow them. And to follow people, you just go where it says copy followers. You click on there and you search something. Let's say, I don't know, what do I search? Let's search motherhood.
That's actually new down at the bottom. That wasn't that.
Yeah, they didn't have that before.
No.
So I don't know why I paid for
Load
it.
it, it's gonna show you, and then you see the followers. And then you add, but now it's only giving you that limit of 25 people a day.
But it's 25 in total.
Huh?
It's 25 in total, meaning that that's including if you unfollow people and if you follow. So that's
Yes.
25. That's it.
Unless you purchase
Yeah.
the whole new thing that now they want you to pay.
Supply and demand, baby.
But
They
you
saw
know,
a lot of people using it.
But it's funny because that happened before also. A while back, that had happened. I used to use Crowdfire a lot. And for a time, they did that you had to upload, you had to upgrade to the silver or to platinum or to a gold membership if you wanted to follow a certain amount of people. And then I guess it didn't work out for them because not a lot of people were paying to use it. And they ended up bringing it back to, you could follow like 160 people a day without being charged. That happened a while back. Like that you had to, and I was like, all right. And then I guess it didn't work out for them. Not a lot of people were paying because they put it back again to the 160. And now I guess they're trying it out again to see how many people actually pay to use it.
Well,
And
I
you know
was
what?
just because I paid for it.
No, because you're trying it. You're
Huh?
trying it. So it's not. No, that's good to try. You know, you try different things. If it doesn't work out, then don't do it again.
No, but now that I know how to follow on Instagram, I really don't need it. I mean, it's good for the unfollows, like unfollow people.
But you don't need to pay for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
You
gonna
know what
cancel
I
it.
also use? Hold on, let me show you. I stopped
And
sharing.
Instagram has had some really great updates. Like their updates are becoming like really good. Like with the video stuff that you can do and things like that, it's like really good.
So let me show you. Hold on, let me load this again.
Listen, I wanted to comment on the Charlene Johnson podcast. Like, I listened to her too, and you're right. Like, she gives, I mean, you know what? This guy Coates, Joshua Coates, is giving us.
Yes. I
Like,
love
he
him.
talks about all that stuff for free.
Yes.
You know, and like so I was listening to a podcast of hers the other day about how to do your how to go live on Facebook.
Oh yes, I was listening to that one too.
She broke it down to the point I did exactly what she said, and I had over 10,000 people view my video.
Wow.
And now, like, I make it a point to make a video every Sunday. About it, you know, different topics, but I use her breakdown.
That's so funny. I was thinking to do it every Sunday too. That's when I have the time. That's really good.
Yeah, I got a bunch of people to like my page, and a bunch of conversations from my page with my video.
That's
So
good.
real quick, these are other apps that I use to unfollow people. Because combined, lets me I end up unfollowing like 200 people. But it's combining all of these. That's why I have so many of them. Because like, let's say some of them give you 20 per hour. Some of them give you 60 per hour that you can unfollow. And like, let's say, let me show you one of them.
Which is the easiest one to use?
I use all of these. Because, like I said, some of them give you 20 and some of them give you 60. So, like, what is this? No thanks. So many pop-ups. Okay, so let me refresh it. And it's good is because same thing. It shows you your followers and the people that are not following you. Because of course the people that aren't following you, those are the ones that you unfollow. So I like it because I don't have to do the guesswork. Like, okay, who am I unfollowing? I just go in here and it shows me are not following you back. So I go in there and I start unfollowing from there.
What's the name of that app? Followers?
There's a couple of them. Followers plus. Another one says followers, my followers. I'll do a screenshot of it and I'll post it on in the group. And same thing, you just have it load your data, you link it to your Instagram, and it's gonna load your followers, your non-followers, people that have unfollowed you, and from there you can just same thing. You just start clicking who you're gonna unfollow, and it unfollows them until you reach your limit, and it tells you to come back in an hour so that you can unfollow some more. So those are like all other little alternatives, especially now that Crowdfire is only allowing you 25 people. To manage the amount of followers that you have or the amount of followers that you're following, those are good alternatives to be able to manage it, especially now that the limit is so, that it's so limited with Crowdfire. So if you see there, it says are not following you back. So I can just go in there and I'm unfollowing them. And it'll let me do it until it shows me that I can't do it anymore. So this one is probably one of the 60 ones because I think I already clicked on more than 20.
What's the name of that app?
I'll tell you right now. Yeah, this one's one of the ones that give you 60 because it's letting me unfollow people like crazy. This one is followers. It's this one right here, the first one.
Okay.
There's like two of them that give you 60 and the other ones give you 20.
Gotcha.
Another thing for Instagram that helps a lot is the Tag-O-Matic. I think on one of the calls we had touched on that. For those that aren't using it, it really helps a lot when you're doing your hashtags because it takes the guesswork out. So like, let's just say pregnant. It's gonna load all the hashtags that I could possibly use that would refer to the word pregnant. So pregnant, pregnant life, pregnant belly. So you just click on the amount, on the ones that you want, and it keeps a count on the bottom because you know on Instagram you can only use 30 hashtags on a picture. And when you have the tags that you want, you just go to Instagram and you paste them to your picture. So like, let's say if I'm gonna tag up there, I go to comments, you paste, and it puts them all in there for you. It makes it so much easier for the hashtags because there's just so many hashtags that you can think off of the top of your head. And last one I'll touch on is another one that helps you to do likes. Even though if you're doing Instagrams, you should be good. But if you have free time and you want to like even more pictures, you can go to iLover.
I thought that was taken out. I used to have that one.
They fixed it.
Oh, I was like, I thought that was taken out. Okay.
So let's just say again, you search the word and then you click and there it shows you all the pictures that people have hashtag pregnant. And if you swipe to the right, you say yes, and it's just like all those pictures at once. And you click on more, it's gonna load a whole set of new pictures that have been hashtag pregnant. You swipe to the right, you say yes, and it just liked all those pictures. And that one's called iLover. So those are all just little things that help you as far as likes for Instagram and everything, because Instagram is the one that at least all of us are working the most because that's where you have so much of a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? No, everybody's pretty covered. All right, so I won't take any more of your time, guys. We've been on for about an hour. Thank you so much for connecting. I will post the recording, and I'll take a snapshot of the apps that I'm using to unfollow, and I'll post it in the comments with the recording, So
All
that,
right,
Yeah.
let's take a picture.
oh yes, let's take a picture.
Oops, no memory.
With my little workout fizz.
I got one.
You got one?
I got one. I'll put it in the
What
group.
was I covering my face?
Hold on, let me double check.
I
No,
was
no,
looking
your face
down.
is uncovered.
Oh,
I was looking down, no?
Hold on. Cancel. Oh, you were looking down. Hold on. All right, everybody look up. All right, got it. All right, have a good night, guys. Thank you so much for connecting.
Yesenia, thank you. Thank you very much.
Jesse.
Good night.
Bye-bye.